The M4 Mac Mini is receiving some incredible upgrades this year, making it a must-buy compared to the nearly 2-year-old M2 Mac Mini. Here's everything we know about the new Mac Mini, including its specs, release date, and price. Expect some impressive enhancements later this year. With Apple wrapping up the M3 series and starting the journey of the M4, let's dive into the exciting highlights of what's coming next. It seems increasingly unlikely that we'll see an M3 Mac Mini at all. A major factor is the manufacturing process. The M3 chip was produced using TSMC's costly 3nm N3E technology. While this was a significant advancement, it is expensive to produce and can run hot under heavy use. The good news is the introduction of the M4 chipset, as seen in the iPad Pro. The M4 uses TSMC's new 3nm N3P process, which significantly improves performance. The M4's single-core performance is remarkable compared to the M2 and even the M3, and its multi-core performance is equally impressive. Additionally, Apple has made notable enhancements to the RAM with this iteration, adding to the excitement surrounding the M4. We have two RAM configurations available with the M4 chipset: 8GB and 16GB. Earlier this year, Apple made a bold claim suggesting that 8GB of RAM on a Mac is comparable to 16GB on other systems. Based on experience, 8GB of RAM on a Mac might feel somewhat equivalent to around 10GB on a Windows PC, primarily because macOS is generally more resource efficient than Windows. However, suggesting that it feels like 16GB is an exaggeration. While macOS handles resources differently, making an 8GB Mac feel somewhat more capable than an 8GB Windows machine, it certainly does not double the performance. Apple continues to offer 8GB of RAM in the base configurations of the iPad Pros, with 16GB available only in the highest spec storage options, consistent with their previous models. This raises the question of whether the Mac Mini will follow suit. It seems unlikely that the Mac Mini will start with 16GB of RAM as its base configuration. Apple should consider increasing the base RAM configuration, especially given that the new Snapdragon Elite X comes with 16GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. Tim Cook should be starting with at least 12GB of RAM for the base models of devices like the Mac Mini and MacBooks equipped with the M4 chipset. This isn't an arbitrary suggestion. It's informed by the fact that the MacBook Pros with the M3 Pro and M3 Max come with unconventional base RAM configurations of 18GB and 36GB respectively. Given the rapid advancements in technology, a base RAM option of 12GB would be more appropriate, with a possible 24GB option available for those needing more power. Next, let's delve into the anticipated release date and specifics of the M4 Mac Mini. As discussed earlier in this presentation, it's improbable that we'll witness the debut of an M3 or M3 Pro Mac Mini at WWDC 2024. Even the introduction of a Mac Mini with M4 capabilities seems unlikely at that event. According to Mark Gurman's insights, the new Mac Mini is more likely to hit the market towards the end of 2024 or possibly in early 2025. This suggests a time frame of around October to November or even extending into January 2025 for its availability. With this timeline, there would be a 2-year gap between the release of the M2 and the anticipated arrival of the M4 Mac Mini. Next, let's examine the pricing and specifications of the Mac Mini featuring the M4 and M4 Pro chips. The external design remains consistent, but I'll discuss the available storage configuration shortly. The entry-level storage for the M4 variant is 256GB, while the M4 Pro option offers up to 4 TB. Both models will house the new M4 and M4 Pro chipsets, starting with a 10-core CPU configuration akin to the current iPad's M4. However, the M4 Pro may boast a 12-core CPU, with the potential for further expansion depending on Apple's decisions regarding the cores. As for GPU cores, anticipate a range from 12 to higher counts, all built on cutting-edge 3nm die technology. RAM configurations are anticipated to commence at 8GB, possibly reaching up to 36GB with the M4 Pro. The chassis will maintain the durable aluminum unibody construction. On the connectivity front, expect 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports doubling as USB 4, along with 2 USB 3.2 ports. 10GB Ethernet will be available as an option, while standard features include 1GB HDMI 2.1. As for pricing, the base model, featuring the M4 chip, 256GB storage, and potentially 8 or 12GB of RAM, is likely to start at $699. The last thing to talk about is the actual design of the Mac Mini. Will it receive a fresh look? It seems unlikely for the foreseeable future, largely due to the Mac Studio's influence. The Mac Studio essentially comprises 2.5 Mac Minis stacked atop each other, sharing nearly identical dimensions except for height. Consequently, Apple is likely to maintain this design until a redesign of the Mac Studio is on the horizon. The current design boasts efficient cooling fans, crucial for managing the heat generated by processors like the M2 Pro, a feature Apple aims to preserve for the M4 Pro. Therefore, it appears we'll be sticking with the current design for the foreseeable future. What do you think about the latest Mac Mini? Are you planning to get one soon, or wait until later this year or even early next year? Share your thoughts in the comments section. That's all for this video, folks. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you you want to stay updated with the newest Apple updates, reviews, and comparisons, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Until next time, take care and goodbye.